Hey guys, welcome to another video, and in this video I'm going to tell you about exactly step by step how we write our premium SOPs. If you are working with us on a premium basis, this is exactly how we craft the SOPs, alright? And a lot of you, if you are not working with us on a premium basis, what I want you to understand is by the end of this video you will have a great idea about your own SOP. You will be able to improve it maybe twice as much, or if not twice, maybe even twice, but it will happen. You will improve your SOP by the end of this video because you will have some great ideas, you will have some great thoughts, because you will understand exactly what I have been learning for the past 1-2 years. I've been researching this process, and it really helps out to understand. If you really go deep, you understand exactly what they expect out of you, and you can craft it accordingly. Alright, so over the past 1-2 years, we've dealt with all kinds of applicants. We've dealt with people who are not really great on their resume. We've dealt with people who have no work experience. We've dealt with people who have a very low CGPA. We know how to tackle that as well. And see, trust me, if I can tackle these, you can too. Alright, there's a whole lot of things that I'm not covering. People who have great extracurriculars but not a great CGPA, or there's just many things. People who have a lot of theoretical knowledge but not, a great CGPA, but not a lot of practical projects, not a lot of work experience, right? And there's some people who even have a 3-year course instead of a 4-year course. So, if you know that you're going for a STEM degree, these universities, they expect you to have a 4-year degree, 4-year bachelor's degree, right? If you're going for a master's, right? So if you do not have that, they will kind of try to encourage you to have that, or maybe they will just reject you straight away. You will even have to ask the universities if you are even applicable to apply, because sometimes it's just stated as a requirement that you must have a 4-year degree, right? So we have dealt with all of that, and trust me, if we can deal with that, some of these applicants are in the greatest universities, top 20 through 50 universities, even these applicants, right? And if you have a great profile, if you have a stellar profile, you can get into the top 20 universities as well. Alright, so really it works on the basis of your profile. Your SOP is not a ticket to your university if your profile is bad. Alright, understand that. Your SOP is not the only thing that can be great on your profile, and it will make things so much better for you that you won't even need your profile. Of course, they take a look at everything. The SOP is just a place where you can really, kind of be in a one-on-one environment with the committee, and you can help them understand exactly what kind of an applicant you are. All right, you can explain your things. You can explain some peccadillos in your past, basically something that you did wrong, something that was not right on your application. Maybe there was a reason, there was a legitimate reason. You can explain all of that. All right, so like I said, it's doable, very doable. And a lot of these people, don't worry if you have something on your profile that kind of you think that it acts as an impediment. It's not. Everything there is a workaround for. All right, now what I'm giving you right now is the exact step by step. I've noted down the steps. These are the steps we have been following for every applicant that has come to us, and we've kind of we do tweak it depending on the university, of course, but these will definitely get you into a great university. All right, if you craft your SOP like this, it will be better than most of the applicants. I'm sure even if you don't work with us and you just copy this design, all right, just model this, it'll get you into the top 30% at least. All right, if you work with us, we assure you we can get you into the top 10%. So how do you start? Right, there is no right answer in this case. All right, you can start with anything you want. Right? It's not that there's a hard and fast rule that you must start with this or you must start with that, but still, what I personally like to start with is I kind of try to evaluate my applicants first off. I try to gather information from them. I try to understand their profile. I try to understand their story, not just their academic environment story, but also their story in terms of who they are and why they are really choosing to do this degree, right? Why they actually want to go into this course, and why do they actually want to do this? Right? This is the important question. That I personally go through that. I understand these applicants. I talk to them. I don't care if it takes an hour, if it takes 3 hours, but we talk about it and we bring out the best version of them, right? So that just gives us a slight idea about what their motivation is, right? And we start building up from there. Why are they motivated to do this degree instead of every other degree on the planet there is? There are so many courses, right? So why are they doing this one? There has to be a motivation, and a lot of times people think that there's no motivation, they don't know, they're just following the crowd, but trust me, there's always a story in there, and we can definitely find it, right? So you start with the motivation, why they want to do this, right? And next you go on to explaining their undergraduate education, right? You go on to explaining their undergrad experience, what they gained from it, and how that experience has set them up to basically help them gain that next level of knowledge that they want to gain, how they are now prepared to actually go on to that next level and go on to that master's degree, and now they are eligible for it basically, all right? They have the skills for it. We need to show the committee that, right? Because they need to understand that this applicant is good enough, he can do whatever it takes, and he will be able to survive our program, right? Great. Next thing is that basically you talk about a whole lot of things here, but basically what I like to start with next is the projects. Why the projects? Because the projects kind of show the committee that this guy has the experience. If you have some great projects, we will write about that then, right? Depends on the applicant. A lot of times people have no projects whatsoever. They have very simple projects. In that case, we kind of try to tweak things, and we kind of look at alternatives. But basically, if you have some great projects which can kind of portray your expertise in a particular domain, specific field that is aligned to the degree that you actually want to do, that's great. There's nothing better than that, right? So we actually go into the details of the project. We try to explain the intricacies. We try to explain what kind of issues the person faced. We try to explain exactly how he went over it, exactly how he got over the issues, and exactly what his contributions were and what his team's contributions were. All right, so that is the next important part. See, let's step into the shoes of the committee once, right? Why would they reject an applicant, right? If this applicant is not able to survive their program, if they think that the applicant is not able to survive their program, they will straight away reject him, right? That's the first criteria. There's a whole lot more, and by the end of this video, you're gonna get some really valuable information. I have some really good information for you by the end. Right, next, anyway, we move on to the internships after that, right? Sometimes people don't have a great set of projects of their own, but they have some internships, great internships, great companies. And even if you don't have the great company name, you have just the startup names. But then again, you know, we just kind of dive into your contributions. How have you contributed to the organization's goals, and what did the organization give you back because of it? Did they offer you something? Did they do something for you? So all of these things matter, right? We go deep into that as well. Next is, in case you have a great position in your class, if you're in the top 10, top 5, anything of that sort, we should explicitly mention that, because that is something that the committee cannot see directly from your transcripts, right? You send them your transcripts, but again, doesn't matter. There's nowhere on the transcripts that states that this guy is the rank 1 in our university, rank 2 in our university. I personally had something like that, and some of my applicants did too. We explicitly mentioned that, and trust me, it works wonders. It is actually a great thing to have on your SOP, but try to keep it short, alright? There's a whole lot of things we're including. Okay, next is your social activities. A lot of time people think that, you know, there's no space for all of these things. Depends. See, this is everything we include, right? There's a whole lot more tiny things which I'm not going to discuss in this video, but if you have social activities and your SOP, basically the university that is asking for your SOP has a page limit that we can fit this thing in, we would definitely try to do that. Not a lot, but basically 2 lines or 3 lines about it would do, maybe even 1, but adding that kind of shows the university that you're a well-rounded individual and you can actually perform not just in your education, not just in your studies, but you actually give back to the society as well. So at the same time, not just that you will be studying at the university, but you will be able to give back to the university as well. So that's what they're looking for, right? Someone who can give back, someone who can really not just gain the education from the university. Of course, you're going to give them the tuition money, but they're looking for more over here, right? The more the better, of course. Yeah. So after that, we can also go over some competitions, hackathons, any kind of fellowship, anything that you want that is of significant importance. That depends, however, you know, if we're doing the complete application process with you, we will actually go on, check at the portal, we will see that they're not asking for it explicitly at any other point. If they are, in that case, we would not write this and we would just include it over there on the application portal itself. If they're not asking for it explicitly, we would add it over here, because this is again an important information, right? Next, we go on to your co-curricular activities, even if they are slightly relevant to your field. This is important. They must be relevant to your field. You can't just add co-curricular activities which are not even relevant to your field. For instance, you are going for a computer science degree and you're telling them that you won a football tournament. That is not a great thing to add on your SOP, because that is not relevant at all. However, if you did something like you started a society, you did something of that sort, or you basically brought a new society to your college that's related to computer science, that would mean a lot. That speaks volumes about your initiative, about how you are willing to actually put in the time, you are willing to actually put in the energy into doing all of these things. Because let's face it, if you've ever done something like this, you know that it's not an easy process at times. A lot of times, there's a whole lot of hurdles. Sometimes the college gets in the way, sometimes you don't get the permission, and also all of these things just kind of come in. But you dealt with that. That shows that you are a persevering individual. That is very important. That shows that you're a persevering individual, and that counts a lot. Alright, so next what we try to go over is, right, this is the special section now. This is something that not a lot of people would do, not a lot of consultancies would do, because up till here, see, what I want you to understand is everything we write, none of it is general. Alright, every single line that we are going to include in your SOP, none of it has to be general. It has to be very, very specific to your case. See, general SOPs, these guys, these admission committee guys, they've been evaluating the SOPs for ages. Alright, they will see a general draft, they will skim through it, and they will leave it. Probably even throw it out of the window. So there goes your admin. Alright, so the one thing that we always make sure to focus on is that your draft is never general. It has to be specific, and it has to be really different from any other applicant out there. So that's why we focus on making sure that not even a single statement is same as any other applicant out there who might be able to use it, right? So this statement should only apply to you. Every statement that we write on your SOP should be applicable to your case and only your case. It shouldn't be applicable to, anyone else's case. Like you could take your friend, you could take your brother who is already studying overseas, you could take anyone else. All right, it shouldn't be perfectly applicable to anyone else. That is the whole criteria of writing a very specific draft, not wasting the space, and understanding that each draft counts and each line in that draft counts. You don't have a lot of space. There's only a limited amount of space, so make sure that you leverage that space. You make sure that you use that space so well that really no one else can use it better than you. And if you do that, of course, you have a straight up admit. Of course, given your profile has to be great as well overall, but you need to do the SOP well as well, right? And you need to explain, right, that these are the shinier parts of my application, and focus on them more than focusing on your not so good parts of the application. All right. Alright, so one thing that we like to do always is that we try to show the university that we have done our homework. Alright, we have done our homework means that we want to get into your university. We're not just applying for the sake of it, but we have actually looked into the course, we have actually looked into all of these things, and we've actually understood that this is the course that we want. This is the best course out there, and if there's some unique point about the university, if there's some unique parts about how that university is different from any other university, and that is exactly what applies to your case, exactly what you need. Trust me, if you follow this, you need not send in 10 applications. You can only pick 2 or 3 colleges, 2 or 3 universities, and you will be sure to get an admit. Alright, so focus on the unique parts of that university, write about that, and write about how that will help you in getting closer to your goals. Alright, and make sure that your SOP is not revolving around it, but of course it is kind of building up towards it. Alright, that this is the thing I need, and your university is providing me with this thing, and I'm very happy to be to have the opportunity to actually grab that. Alright, and secondly, the one more thing that we try to kind of give hint to that university that basically we have done our homework is that we try to find a professor whose research work, of course if you're going for a STEM degree, your research work matters more than anything. We will try to show that your research work aligns with this specific professor. Alright, we try to pick that professor out. Alright, for you this is done, that we try to, after we have done evaluating all your profile, this is in the last part of the SOP again, we are trying to check out which professor kind of suits your profile the best, which professor's research aligns with your research the best, whose project can you contribute to the best. Because based on your prior work experience, prior projects, all of those things come into the picture over here, and on the basis of that we kind of search the professors at the university. 9 out of 10 times you will find someone who will actually suit your research, who will actually suit your profile, and then you can tell him that alright, we actually read some of his papers as well. Like, it's a very hectic process doing that for each university, so that's why you can understand that it takes a little bit of time as well, at least 3-4 days it would take. Sometimes it takes even a week, but the draft is actually of pristine quality. We actually go over the research papers, we see how we can contribute to it, we kind of try to make some suggestions to the professor. So all of these things kind of happen in the SOP itself, and a lot of times, we've seen that people not only get their admits, but they also get in some sort of funding, right? Some sort of scholarship, some sort of fellowships, all of these things. Sometimes they get a research opportunity before even actually going to the university. So all of these things matter. And sometimes the opportunity might not be paid, but as soon as you go there, you start contributing in 1 month or so, you can actually convert it to a paid opportunity. So all of these things happen. Just kind of make sure that you are on the lookout. It's a very rewarding process if you actually make sure that you do it right. If you do not do it right, you'll kind of end up messing it up. If you just have an admit, you have no funding or something of that sort, you did something wrong. And that's why I'm telling you, see, if your profile is not very good, in that case, if you have an admit, that's good enough. But if you have a great profile and still don't have any sort of funding whatsoever, there should be some, in my opinion. Alright, so all of these things are included in the SOP that we do. If you think that we can help you build that perfect SOP, build out that perfect image of you in front of the committee, exactly what they want. See, let me tell you one more thing. They don't just want your tuition fees. Everyone else can pay the tuition fee as well. All of those 200 applicants in the wait list, they can pay the tuition fee as well. Alright, how you differ is on the basis of which course you're applying in. For instance, if you're applying in for a STEM course, that is research-based course, then we try to show the committee that your qualifications are basically exceeding the other applicants' qualifications, and secondly, we try to show them that you can get the university a lot more than just your tuition fee. So what can you give the university instead? Well, the university gets a lot of grants, a lot of fundings coming its way. Secondly, a lot of rankings, all of these US News ranking and all of these other QS rankings, all of these things, they take into account the research. Alright, so if the student is very good at research, the university has chances of getting funding. Alright, so make sure that you take into account all of these things. Basically, all of these criteria matter somewhere or the other, and make sure that you are building up a perfect SOP based on around all of these factors. You can give the university a lot more than just your tuition fees. You can help them grow, you can help them maybe you can help them create a new culture over there, maybe you can help develop something else. All of these things, they matter. If you're going for an MBA based degree or any of the business based degree, basically, maybe MIS, maybe MEM, maybe MBA as well, anything that you have in the form of your own startups, your own patents, all of these things would count as well. So it's really very, very different depending on the field. It could be law, it could be medicine, it could be MBA, anything, it could be anything really. So depending on your field, try to take into account all of these factors and then try to craft a perfect SOP for your case. Alright, I hope this video helps you, and in case you want to work with us, you want to make sure that your SOP is among the top 10% of the pile that they see over there, then if you'd like to work with it, alright, the draft price is 15,000 Indian rupees or $220 US at this moment if you would like to work with us. And in case you would like some discounts at this very moment, we're having a 20% discount. You can message me personally on Instagram and we can give you the website links. We can do all of these things. Alright, I hope this video helped you out. I hope to see you working with us very soon, and all the best for your whole applications process. So this is the brief look into what kind of a portal we're building. So depending on engineering, business, law school and medicine school, you can actually view the data for each of these schools. Alright, how a number of students, male, female students, international students, and then there's all of these things like the application deadlines, application fee, and average admitted applicant scores like the GPA, the language scores, and the TOEFL, IELTS, average GRE scores in case of the engineering students. In case of business, it's going to be GMAT scores. In case of law, it's going to be again LSAT scores, and in case of medicine, it's MCAT. All right, apart from that, of course, the language scores, and then the average acceptance rate for masters and both PhD. All right, and then we have fellowships information, how many students got a fellowship for this degree, for this course. And again, you can see, total number of people who are enrolled into this course, and these number of students got fellowships. So you can see the chances are pretty good over here. And apart from that, the expenses, the total tuition expenses, the living expenses, financial aid help, and the contact of the financial aid person, director of that university. So all of these things, we are doing them for you. I hope this is going to help you in your whole university shortlisting process, in your whole, basically all of these things can kind of keep you away from getting 9 rejects when you send in 10 applications. All right, whatever it is that I'm doing over here, it's going to be live by the end of this month, and the updates are going to be on my Instagram page. I want you to go over there and hit the follow button so that you can actually keep track of what is going on. If we have any special offers also, you can actually go on. Everything will be posted over there, right? Any update about the website, when it's up, implemented, and when it's up, what is the name of the website, all of these things. So I hope to see you over there, and I hope this is something that you will really look forward to. All right. But if you want actually go for this one-on-one service where I can do the SOPs for you, I can do the LORs for you, I can do the there's a whole lot of services actually. Let me pop that up. Like the GRE consultation, SOP drafting, profile evaluation, university shortlisting, right? Creating the whole admissions preparation plan if you are, let's say, in your second year or in your third year, so you have 1 year, right? So you can create your whole admissions preparation plan with me, right? Resume help, you've seen my resume, you can do something like that, all right? Maybe LOR drafting, maybe TOEFL consultation, complete application help, 7 to 8 universities you apply to, the whole portal, we will handle the whole portal for you. My team will do that for you, all right?